Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my channel. Now, before you click that dislike button and let me know how I'm just stirring up more drama, please hear me out. All I am doing is making content that I really have wanted to make for a while now, but I didn't have the freedom due to financial obligations of the previous channel viewer. I now have a second job which frees me up to make whatever I want, when I want, without fear that it won't perform well or that it will hurt my further viewership. Note that none of the people who are on this list I have met, and honestly, a lot of this list is just made for the fact that I want to have shits and giggles. If someone is on this list and is personally detestable to you, that is your choice, but personally, I reserve judgment for anyone until I've met them. Now, what this list is supposed to do is point out specific behaviors and actions committed by other YouTubers that I personally find distasteful. Personally, I have a huge set of ethics when it comes to YouTube, and there are some actions that I personally find just downright immoral. So here's my hopes to point out those actions, give you an example, and hopefully for those of you in my audience who want to be a YouTube content creator today, you can watch this and say to yourself, that won't be me. This is 12 YouTubers, or rather YouTube actions I personally find disgraceful. If any of the language here today is used offends you, note that we are doing nothing but having laughs and goofs and memes alike. Sit back, relax, turn down the lights, and enjoy the show.
Number 12, Soflo Antino. Plagiarism is bad. We all agree that plagiarism is just bad. The prank community can also be described as the worst that YouTube has to offer. So what happens when you plagiarise a still stupid fake pranks? Well, you get Soflo Antino, with such notable stolen videos as kissing prank, sex and BJs for couples, blowjob prank, and picking up girls gone sexual 2015. We know that we're in for a terrible ride. You may notice that I use the word stolen, and that's because many of his videos are just re-uploads of the same video. Not only the same video, a re-upload of someone else's video. The structure of his usual typical uploads goes like this. Weird intro where he proclaims, "This is Soflo's comedy," while in a bathroom setting. 4-second intro with the Soflo brand name. Then it starts playing a prank by someone else, with either that user's logo in the corner, or with Soflo's logo over the original uploader's logo. The Soflo team have been known to threaten smaller channels with legal action for doing nothing more than calling this person out for stealing content. So, if you like, TCR's email is linked in the description below, so have a go at it.
Ray William Johnson, the man behind =3, is and always has been somewhat of a controversial figure since the advent of Twitter. I know the guy is ancient YouTube history and is now making Facebook videos of all things. Wait, what the fuck? But when he was relevant, he would attack his own fans on Twitter and call them names, including calling some of his teenage fans fat. If anyone was giving him fair criticism, they would receive some of the same treatment. He was also called out for being a plagiarist on several occasions, which in all honesty is a disgusting practice that should put any YouTuber to shame. A lot of people say that he's done so little work in his own videos and has gotten so much fame just because he took viral videos and stole jokes only to repurpose them into unfunny commentary and delivery, saying fake and gay a million times, and at one point became the most subscribed channel of all time. It's easy to see that he has scorned several of his fans and made many detractors. I personally cannot attest to how much actual effort he puts into his own videos. All I can say is plagiarism and attacking your audience is not the way to go about things. I'm pretty sure a lot of us at one point used to watch this guy and consider him fairly good, and why wouldn't they? He has a fairly charming personality when he's in front of a camera, and it's easy to see that he at the very least enjoyed what he was doing somewhat, even if those videos were only an attempt to break into the movie scene. We'll see what his content holds in the future, but let's hope for the love of God he stays off of Twitter.
It's everyday bro with that Disney Channel flow are words that cringe the whole entire world. Jake Paul, a Vine/Disney star who appeared on a short-lived show pitched by a YouTube personality that simply went by the name Bizaardvark of all things. Recently, he shot up in infamy due to his hit, also terrible song, It's Everyday Bro, that could not try to emulate Emma Black's Friday any harder if it tried. The song was bashed due to its terrible and narcissistic lyrics, such as passing all the competition, Pewdiepie is next, selling merch like a god church, and England is my city. Oh god, really? England is my city? With inspirational lyrics, he should try and collaborate with another amazing rapper, Vanilla Ice.
Mario, the Vigilant Christian. Hold on a minute, before you all flip, thinking that I'm trying to bash his religion or something like that. I've got nothing against it. Believe in what you want. But to make videos going around telling everyone dumb shit that no one gives a flying fuck about, like Batman is part of the Illuminati, exposed, then no one's gonna take you seriously, are they? The Vigilant Christian has got a very warped sense of Christianity, and probably reality. But this does not apply to every Christian, what I'm about to say next. But Mario's mentality reminds me of the people of the Westro Baptist Church, you know, God, kill all fags, stuff like that. I'm not saying he's the same, I'm saying he's got a very similar mindset. But I will say that type of behaviour that he's had throughout YouTube has motivated other people to make exposed videos on him. Fucking hell, I wonder why. Could it be something to do with calling everything satanic? That could be one of the reasons, but there's a bigger reason than that. The Vigilant Christian has garnered a reputation for saying some really regrettable and fucked up shit. Like when a celebrity dies, for example, he would make a video saying that they're gonna burn in hell and it's the truth, and at the same time monetize it after the death of the celebrity. Now, I'm willing to believe anything as long as there's evidence to back it up, but what the Vigilant Christian believes to be the truth is more fear-mongering and bullshit. Like he thinks he knows shit, but he doesn't know shit. One of the biggest things he likes to preach is that he exposes evil. Good one. Exposes evil, my ass. Just out of interest, let's see what he exposes as quote-unquote evil. Do you want to know what he exposes? You sure? Okay, here we go. It's fucking yoga. So you better watch out, mate, because if you do fucking yoga, I swear to God, he knows when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake. And if you're lucky, you might just get away with it, for fuck's sake. But if he catches you, oh boy, I'd hate to see what the devil himself would do. Stretching muscles and shit. Keep doing all that, Satan might just come up to you and just say, hey, what do you think you're doing, lad? What you're doing here is naughty, naughty. Come with me.
Onision, Onion Man. Now, here's something I do want to state. This person I do find detestable, so if you happen to notice any hints of malice in my voice, know that it is coming from a personal place and not of a professional opinion. With that being said, let's go into the list item. Everyone loves this piece of onion to talk shit about. Whether it's of him posting silly tweets about how smoking pot makes you a scumbag, or posting insensitive tweets to various fans. Wait, I have to quickly stop this narration so I can give a little mini rant. If you have a fucking microphone on this website, please at least wait a couple of months before you start making fun of people who have died. Now, this specific comment had a little remark about someone simply known as Christina Grimmie. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name, but it was just a off joke, but I cannot just make an off joke about this. This fucking scumbag decided to make fun of this girl's fan base as they were mourning her death and started calling them names on Twitter. If you make content for a living and you have anyone that looks up to you like this, you should think twice before making fun of people who are mourning a death. At least fucking wait for people to be goddamn buried before you dare think about picking up that microphone. I'm sorry for that unprofessional outburst. I will now put on my professional face again while dealing with this. He also has a forum where girls just send him pictures of him so that he can judge them. Onision is a weird person, no doubt about it, but he keeps doing this type of thing. It's more fuel for everyone else to talk about. Captain Onion here thought that it was okay for him to record his wife having a seizure or a stroke or something of that nature. And then he puts on YouTube before thinking about calling a fucking ambulance. He's abused people around him, record it, and when people call him out, well, you get the time-old tradition of people saying, fuck all of y'all, and ignoring criticism. Much like the vigilant Christian, he will use grief of other people who are mourning or who have yet to be buried in the fucking ground to garner an extra view. And still, he makes tweets making fun of them and videos criticizing their life choices for people who have just, as I said, died. This is a YouTuber who has no respect for his audience, his family, friends, loved ones, or even his fellow peer content creators. And he's definitely a true monster to cite. If you want an example of what not to do, just watch what he does and then do the opposite. And then you might have a stable chance of not becoming an egomaniac. Seriously, this is the one dude on this list I can personally say should probably have their account banned. Because holy shit, the amount of misery this guy's caused with his audience is astounding.
Number 7, Daddy05. We've all seen it before with prank channels. It's just a prank, bro. But no one is really laughing when someone does something or says something disgusting, stupid, or just downright screwed up. Prank channels, fake or real, have gone way too far. But at least most of them are fake, right? However, there's this one channel that's been called out for the complete opposite. Meet Daddy05. You may have heard of him in his family videos. We, however, have never heard of him until his invisible ink prank made headlines. What we saw was abuse, exploitation, humiliation, bullying of children. That's not a prank. Most prank channels can get called out for staging pranks, right? But this time, this YouTuber lies about them being fake, just to cover his own behind. When no way in hell can those reactions from a child can be faked. As time went on and pressure started to weigh down on him by the news media, other YouTubers, and child protective services, we started to see just how much of a terrible liar he is. Apart from shouting Cody and what did you do, the worst part about it is that once something goes online and gets this much attention, it's kinda stuck there forever.
Number 6, Vegan Gains. He is the manliest man of them all. But it's not the fact that he's a vegan, but it's his actions, idealisms, and consequences that make me wonder to myself, do I really want to become vegan? If I go vegan, does that mean I'll go from having a bacon butty to making videos on how to kill people and threatening them online? Like, as most of you know, Mr. Epsilon was one of them. He went on a long rant on a live stream on how he was going to skin the lad alive. And if he had the opportunity, he'd kill him if he had the chance. I mean, fucking hell, sociopath much? I mean, what kind of message is that? You know, I'd love to slide my knife down his throat and see him look all scared, all while it gives me great pleasure in doing it. That sounds rapey and sexual to me. The ad hominem attacks are fucking wrong, yeah? But threatening to stab people and going into detail about how good it will feel, well, that's perfectly fine. Threatens people online with knives, guns and death threats. He hates people and advocates fucking eating them, as well as murdering them, including babies. Happy about the fact that a YouTuber got cancer, wanted to film his granddad's stroke, and he's bloodthirsty, all while he's a vegan. Now I noticed the same old shit you've heard before on other videos. And maybe you're thinking to yourself, oh, but maybe he's calmed down a bit now. Maybe you're right, because not too long ago he had a vasectomy, probably because his testosterone levels were too high. And that made him angry all the time. So guess what? It's done fuck all because he's still on a vegan period, rampaging through YouTube crying on debates. The problem with Vegan Gains is that he represents the vegan community in a pretty irresponsible way. Like, I'm sure there are people who are curious about veganism and wanted to give it a try, but saw one of his videos of him acting like a fucking idiot, and then they'd be like, oh fuck that. Is that what will happen to me if I become vegan? Another vegan YouTuber, similar to Vegan Gains, made a video saying that all meat eaters should die. Wow. That's fucking cold. Didn't expect that from a vegan. If you think the way you act is going to convince people to become vegan, you're sadly mistaken. You've convinced them onto steak even more. Ghazi Kotso, known by the internet as Black Hitler, and he sure as hell lives up to his name. He's basically Dear White People in human form. Like Dear White People, he's one of those lunatics that thinks all white people are racist, which is a fucking stupid statement in itself. Cause it's like saying, you know every single white person on the planet. Yeah, cause he's got it all figured out, hasn't he? White people should not adopt black kids. Cop killers are black heroes. And he thinks that black people are, in 2017, still oppressed, when they're fucking not. He thinks that white people owe him something, whether it's money or something of value. Yeah, because what a bunch of naughty white people have done in the past is on you. Your ancestors' actions are your actions in his mind. Fuck's sake, it's not like his ancestors are any perfect, because they passed on people like him. And the people that do follow him around kissing his ass are yes man losers who can't think for themselves. He's also a bit of a lunatic as well, who not only likes to find racism that have no racism to begin with, you know the type, that's racist, but it goes way beyond that, man, because the racism that does happen, like remember the Facebook kidnapping with the 4 black teens and the disabled white lad, like he made a video trying to justify it. No wonder people call him Black Hitler.
Number 4, Keemstar. This guy is honestly one of the worst people on this site. It's really not hard to figure out why, and I'm sure you can find hundreds of videos on why he is one of the worst people to continue making content, period. We had this idea of not including him on this list because everybody already knows why he just kinda is the worst. However, that would be a disservice to you guys, so let's just do a quick rundown. Accused countless YouTubers of rape, accused plenty of being pedophiles and often uses that as a defense, has built a channel off of spamming videos about the drama and personal lives of other YouTubers, and refuses to do so with tact, research, or intelligence. Alright, we've given this guy enough attention, so we're just gonna move on.
This is a living example of what your mother thinks you will become if you decide to be a YouTuber. It's really bad when wanking a live stream on accident is not the worst thing you did. DSP used to take part in Street Fighter tournaments and ranked 4th in one of the Broken Ports versions. Since the rest of the people that beat him were Japanese and Chinese, he claims that he was the #1 Street Fighter player in the US. He was also known as the King of Hate back then, and one incident had him shit-talking other players, including Justin Wong and former soldier Jaha. Both heard of his antics and cornered him in a parking lot, attempting to fight it out. Phil, on the other hand, backed down from this fight and ended up crying and running away from the tournament, and has never attended one since. But when asked about attending another tournament, he always makes excuses as to why he can't go, such as his back problem, being too tired and old, and having a big old gouty foot. Also, shall we bring up Project 7, where his friend Respects the Pack did not get paid for any of the editing and special effects he did? The same project where DSP could not help but moan and cry when his friend John Rambo got more laughs than him. Rambo, by the way, in the series, looked like he didn't care one bit about anything, and was just doing it because his friend Phil was. DSP made this project hell, and got funding to continue it, but then decided to say, fuck it, I got the money. Dipshit Phil can't edit. No one really wants to work with him, and let's just say he has a backlog of utter crap that we will go through now to explain why no one wants to hear his crap. He ended up ditching his two best friends, Rambo and Howard, and never spoke to them since, and responded to their negative video about him, stating that somehow money got to their heads and turned them into people he doesn't want to deal with anymore. Spams 14 videos a day and gives false and correct information on video games he plays. Shouts racist words while raging and insults other countries' history and language, which got him banned from Blip TV for making excessive jokes about Jews burning in an oven during his Dead Space 2 playthrough. DSP, however, claims that his jokes are not racist, and anyone who thinks otherwise is an overly sensitive idiot. Extremely hypocritical by calling people that play with webcams and direct capture idiots and clowns, then years later adopts the same technique to try and copy the style. Makes sexist comments about women and even young video game girls like Clementine and Alice, being homophobic and transphobic, have an extreme interest in dicks, arses, taints and balls, even aiming his guns at the crotch of players or backing his player into another character's backside. Acting awkward to any female video game character and just talks about boobs all the time. Steals his fan artwork for profit on his own side business, which he brags about being untouchable. Says that because people copyrighted the artwork, they somehow found an exploit in the system and ruined his business. Calls anyone who dislikes his video a mentally ill sociopath, detractor or little kid. And says that the common YouTuber is a dumb idiot that doesn't want to watch quality videos like his. Being self-centered and how much money he makes. Blaming his parents for so-called bad upbringing and not getting him the toy he wanted when he was a child. Begging viewers to send him $1 so he can continue his business. Doesn't edit any of his videos and claims he works his arse off. Not engaging with any of the characters in the game and having no emotion to their deaths. Blaming every single error on input delays, lag, and "it's bugged" excuse. Insults other players and the game developers. Insults anyone who gives him advice or criticism, even insults his own fans if they are not helping him beat a game, such as Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Dark Souls, and Banjo-Kazooie. He also plays older games and reviews them as brand new games, and insults any gamer who cherished and adored them as a kid, calling it niche, archaic, and terrible. He claims he loves video games and wouldn't be doing this otherwise. But, as we all know, DSP has no other skills. Videos dating back to 2008 showcase his failure at cooking, reviewing fast food, acting, trying to be funny, and being awkward by filming himself showering. He's also a scam artist who got people to pledge to his Patreon of $1,500 for playing games such as Persona 3, and then rage quitting the game and not refunding any of the money to his patrons. Recently having moved across the states, he didn't sell his old condo and now lives in a $500,000 house in a gated community with a lease of a BMW. He has resorted to begging his viewers to bail him out of his financial debt and blames Google and YouTube for his failure. He pretty much fits the stereotype of a middle-aged man shouting stupid shit at video games.
Until you call.
What? Oh my fucking god, he killed himself!
Number 2, Pro Syndicate. The CSGO scandal, this case, was so high profile, it almost does not need any introduction. However, for those unaware, a YouTuber who goes by Honor the Call revealed that Trevor Tamartin and Thomas Pro Syndicate Castle had promoted a gambling site, CSGO Lotto, to their total audience of 10 million subscribers without stating that they are the owners of the site. Tamartin is also the owner of some sort of esports franchise known as Envious, who during this time tried to distance themselves from Tamartin while also making a claim that he had character or something like that. During this whole scandal, Pro Syndicate kinda was shielded from most of the hate, due to the fact that Tamartin attempted to apologize on Twitter and YouTube, only to remove them later. It's kinda sad to see that saying sorry and trying to own up to your own actions makes you an even bigger target. At least we would say that if these apologies were not just sorry, not sorry. A lot of you may be wondering right now, why isn't Tamartin on this list instead of Pro Syndicate? The answer to that question would be in the character of Pro Syndicate himself. The CSGO scandal was not the first time we heard of him. That honor goes to Critical, who whose signal boosted an issue that Nicholas Deary, a freelance animator on YouTube, who made a video saying that he felt he got ripped off by Pro Syndicate. Pro Syndicate afterwards proceeds to go on a stream hosted by Killer Keemstar and just tear into this guy in front of Keemstar's audience. It was honestly so bad that Critical felt he had to make a video about it. And after watching some of that insanity unfold, we struggled to find a reason not to put him on this list.
Number 1. Boots made for crushing. This item honestly can be shared by anyone who does this kind of thing. This guy may not be huge, this guy may not be the most devastating thing to hit the website. However, he is the worst. Boots Made for Crushing was a channel that barely broke 987 subscribers, and his videos rarely, if ever, broke more than 1,000 views. Despite this, he made over 650 videos crushing various things such as toys, rocks, and other objects. He would wear various types of boots, all of which had an avant-garde type of style. Big purple boots, high heel types of boots, just black and red glossy boots, whatever you could think of. Either way, this guy crushed things with boots. What you may not know is that he had a second channel known as Boot666. If you were to view his channel at first, you may think that it had no videos. But should you have access to his Tumblr account, you would gain links to unlisted content, which would include such videos as Patrol Boots Making You a Little Horny Toad Flat. The titles always had a provocative nature to them, and always featured him just trying to crush a great many different animals. He made a channel so that he could appeal to those who have a sexual fetish for seeing things crushed. To wrap this up and tie this back to my point I stated earlier, which is this item can honestly be shared by anyone who does this kind of thing. People who uses their platform to promote pedophilia, rape, the torture of animals, or really anything that can, well, be universally agreed upon as downright screwed up. Those are the people who are the worst YouTubers. It's creating a channel with not the intention of making money, although that may be a factor. But to create a channel only to try to have a negative impact on the world as a whole. And that kind of is just the worst possible thing you could do with such an amazing platform as YouTube. That was a good video. I just wanted to let you guys know that this video was not made and could not have been possible without the help of GrahamGraydog. The dude seriously pushed the video, helped me write the script, and really made this whole project possible. If you wouldn't mind checking out his channel and letting him know that I sent you there, please go in the description or look at the screen now with the end cards and check out his channel. He makes some awesome content, and he's the one who animated his own segments. To everyone else, Blameitonjorge, Larry Bundy Jr., and, well, myself, thank you guys for coming along. You can find them in the description or at the end card. Thanks for watching.